Alright, we're in space. Please be Metroid. Please be Oh my god. No way. No way. No way! Oh my god! 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 It's Metroid! It's Metroid 4! Oh my god! It's Metroid Prime 4! It's real! Oh my god! Hey, Hamster, did you see that announcement for the new Metroid game? No, not Prime 4, the other one. Didn't you watch the Treehouse Live?
Other one?
It's the first new 2D Metroid since 2004!
Dreams really do come true.
So, Prime 4 got delayed. But good thing Samus Returns came out to help tide us over. It's been 3 years now and all we have is a logo. But yes, Samus Returns does help. It's a full-on reimagining of the original Metroid 2 for the Game Boy, and faithful return to the seemingly abandoned 2D Metroid formula! There's only one possible way I can see this turning out badly. What's that? They absolutely must make more. Like every few years. And for this thing. Please, Nintendo, just take my money! Is it fair to say that this is everything great about 2D Metroid, but even better? Yes, for the most part, but there are a couple quirks I do have with this game, but I'll touch on them later. You'll be exploring the vast 2D map of planet SR-388, hunting down the remaining alien Metroids as they evolve into various deadly stages the deeper you progress. Aside from the traditional Metroid 2 bosses, there are a couple new ones added in for variety, which I certainly appreciate as the original Game Boy title left something to be desired in that department. Like always, you'll explore and access new abilities and power-ups that will help you better navigate the world and arm yourself for tougher threats. With a much appreciated nifty new fast travel system, which fortunately isn't used in overabundance. The game still encourages natural exploration while saving time on backtracking. Combat also feels smooth as butter. Now you can hold L to enter free aim mode and shoot in literally any direction. This feature alone feels awesome to utilize and works perfectly with overcoming the game's many hazards. But they also added a new melee counterattack that I've got some problems with. Enemies flash before quickly striking Samus, giving you the chance to counter and lay waste to them. It's a good idea at first, but when the best way to handle pretty much every threat in the entire game is to bait, counter, and then fire until dead, you've slowed down pacing tremendously. Now come on, you don't have to fight with counters or anything, but at higher difficulties and especially Fusion Hard Mode, it's definitely an extra safety measure that'll help protect you at the expense of traditionally running and gunning. You've also got access to some new Aeon power-ups never seen before. Think of them like using a sci-fi magic meter. Scan Pulse can reveal some of the map around you, Lightning Armor protects you from damage, Beam Burst turns you into Sci-Fi Rambo, and Phase Drift slows down time for some puzzles. Metroid games are great with creating unique power-ups and abilities that help you both in progression and in combat. But these abilities are all geared toward one or the other, and that's a bit of a disappointment. But still, this game plays perfectly well as is, and I'm glad to see the developers at Mercury Steam trying new things while also improving on what made the game so great to begin with. My biggest complaint with this game is that it has 3 file slots and 3 difficulties to 100%. So that leaves me with a perfected cartridge and no way to casually restart without dedicating myself to a brand new 100%ed playthrough. And that is possibly the best problem to have with a game. I'm the reason I can't play you anymore! Even though this is a 3DS title as opposed to launching in HD for the Switch, the game still looks pretty good. I gotta say, I almost never use the 3D slider on my 3DS, but I was told to try it out for this game, and it blew my mind! The depth in the 2.5D caverns is insane and full with motion and life, and that's something that you can only experience on the 3DS. Oh, and when you start a new file, do yourself a favor and crank up that 3D slider. The introduction sequence has some seriously amazing artwork that only looks cooler with depth. Also, just saying, this is the absolute coolest various suit Samus has ever worn. Same for the wicked cool gravity suit and Zero suit. I'd pay good money for these designs to get into Smash Brothers. Seriously, I'm so sick of the other M designs. The only thing holding this game back from looking any better is the 3DS itself. It's squishy. For the most part, it's the same subtle storytelling from the original, but with some extra lore and connections to the other games thrown in. After the Prime trilogy, Samus is sent to the Metroid homeworld SR-388 in order to finish her mission in eradicating the threatening alien race once and for all. This game isn't about the story, but for those interested, there's a ton of extra stuff to dig into online and speculate over. It's still a remake, so I'm not gonna pick on it for having a simple story. Minor spoilers here about the ending, so skip forward to the music section if you honestly don't want to hear. For some reason. I can only assume anyone actually worried about spoilers would have played it by now, but after eradicating all Metroids on the planet, culminating in a climactic battle with the massive Queen Metroid, Samus discovers a single infant Metroid hatching from the only surviving egg. The baby takes a liking to Samus, believing her to be its mother. She feels bad for the infant and decides to escort it back to her ship for the Galactic Federation, setting off the events of Super Metroid. Except, on their way back to the ship, the two are ambushed by Proteus Ridley, a new form halfway recovering from his Meta and Omega forms in Prime, with mechanical enhancements being shed and overgrown. This fight was not in the original and surprised the heck out of me. Critically, I love how they just canonized the Prime games and tied in how Ridley recovered from his mechanical aesthetic and regained his body for Super. The fight itself is also wicked fun and full of references to other titles, with a new Ridley theme remix for each of his 3 phases. As for my positive side, okay, trying to hold up in the Metroid sound department is tough enough, but somehow this soundtrack still manages to impress. There's even remixes and sound effects from various games making a return in this game. It's like Metroid greatest hits. It's powerful, frightening, and atmospheric. I really like Metroid. If you're new to Metroid, this is a perfect jumping on point, as long as you still have a 3DS laying around. Or just join me for my Let's Play series, shameless plug. This is Nintendo recognizing dormant potential in one of their best franchises and finally making good on revitalizing it. Now let's just hope that the next one isn't another decade and a half wait. If you're into speedrunning, Metroid games are famous picks, and Samus Returns offers 9 different ending animations based on your time and difficulty. If you're into that. I just looked them up. I 100%ed this game so hard I can't play it anymore without ruining my save files. So I need you to play it for me, please. The positive gamer in me had crazy expectations with Samus Returns and was still thrilled to bits with the game, awarding it with an outstanding 10 out of 10. This game is so good, it's arguably one of the best, if not the best, 2D Metroid game ever made. And it revitalized the franchise and prepared it for more great games to come. Right, Nintendo? Please? The critical gamer in me was very impressed with Metroid Samus Returns, but still finds reason to give it a strong 9 out of 10. Yes, it's outstanding in almost every regard, but... wow, what a sentence. It's still got a few quirks that can be polished out for the next installment, like melee counters and Aeon abilities. Points for trying something new, but bigger points for successfully revitalizing everything we love about 2D Metroid. But what do you think? Tell us how your positive and critical sides rate Metroid Samus Returns in the comments below. We've done so many positive reviews lately. I say we do something harsher next time. Something that neither of us even like. You know, we could just do another Pokemon Opinions episode. I mean, what generation were we at again? Oh yeah. But I'll tell you right now, if you're one of those uptight gamers, too snobbish and elitist to please, even though a good thing that you should love just came your way, then you're just playing with yourself. Respect the squish. Do you have an idea for a new episode of Playing With Myself? Join the discussion on Discord using the Patreon perks to nominate and vote for future episodes. Patreon members also get first picks, so check out the links in the description for more information. And as always, thanks to our amazing Patreon members, Kai, Ben, Rowan, Erica, Squad Fam, and Denny. But let's not forget Sid and Arrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Booyah!